So in this episode here, we're going to take a piece of oak and I'm going to show you how to make this. This is the Roubo style Bible book stand. So it's made from one piece of solid wood, oak, and you split it down the center and build in this hinge here in the middle to make it open up into a little book stand. So inside here you can do scroll with your scroll saw. I just put it on the CNC machine and did a little design on the side. So I'll show you how to cut the hinge, how to cut it in half, and how we make it. So appreciate you. Take this one piece of board here. It's 13 long, 7 wide. All right. Well, I thought I was recording, but I forgot to hit record. So I've already got this marked out. But what I did is I marked the center of my board, which on this case it's 13, so it's 6.5 inches. So I marked the center there. Came out 3/4 of an inch on either side of my center mark, and then I just divided the into 5. You can do as many hinges as you want. 5 seems to be about right. You don't want to go too thin. You could probably do 4 if you wanted to, but I just did 5. And then what I did from there is that I transferred it to the opposite side so I know which way to cut, and then also marked the center line on the edge there also in kind of direction. So from there, what we're gonna do next is figure out which slots are gonna be cut in. All right, so I marked which side is my top, and then I marked out which boxes I'm gonna chisel out, okay? Now, the arrow, I drew an arrow here just indicating which angle I'm going at so that I know. So from here, if you look at this box here on the end, we're gonna chisel from this point here down to the center at about a 45-degree angle, and we want to hit that center point, okay? So this box here is going to angle down that way. Now we flip it to the same box on the other side. Now we're going to do, this is the bottom, this will be the top. We're going to angle from this way down this direction, okay? So one of the other cuts we're also going to make is on these lines here. These lines between each hinge, we're going to cut straight through all the way through the board side to side, okay? So that's actually one of my first cuts I'm going to make, because that'll help when I chisel to relieve this side to keep it from chipping out. So you can do this different ways. You can drill some small holes here on either end and then use a coping saw to cut it. Drill some small holes on the end, then use your scroll saw. So there's a couple different ways. One of the ways I'm going to try to cut this is with my oscillating tool and cut it so I don't have to drill any holes in the end. So we're going to try that. We'll see how it comes out. All right, so I just clamped me on a piece of wood here. It'll help me keep my blade square and give me something to go up against here. So I said we'll make this cut here first. Like I said, you can do this different ways. I just try it this way here. All right, so we got our first cuts made. We went all the way through. All right, so when we're doing a chiseling, we don't want to go in here and just start chiseling this way first. What we want to do is cut the grain here. This end here, the X, this is where we're going to be stopping here, and this will be a 90 straight down to the center point. So as we're cutting into this way, if we start chiseling this way, we could rip out this upside here. So we want to, first thing I want to do is go across this line. Cut that grain. So now Now as we come down, it'll stop right there. It won't split out. It should stop right there at that point. So I'll cut this other side here. So now this one's gonna be opposite, so we're gonna square here and then go from the center point down all the way to there. All right, so if you did it correct, that's what the side of your joint should look like, okay? Going from center down, square here, center down, square. Now we just got to do the rest of them. All right, so we got these all chiseled down. Once we get it cut in half, we'll clean them up, make them a little pretty. But that's what you should, that's how it should look at the end, okay? The other thing that should happen is your right shoulder should be hurting like crazy from all the chiseling. So anyway, that's how it should look at this point. From this point, the next step would be, if you're gonna do any scroll work or any kind of, I'm gonna throw this thing on the CNC and go ice my shoulder and let the CNC machine do the work. But this will be the point that you wanna do that before you split it in half, because once you split it, it gets kind of wobbly and flimsy, and it's be kind of hard to do any scroll work. And so I would do it now and then split it. So from here, like I said, I'm gonna throw this thing on the CNC. All right, so this is gonna be my final shape of it here. I just, on the CNC, I did it on there, and I'm gonna just do it on the bandsaw. But before I cut this shape out, I wanna go ahead and split it here, because if I cut this out first and then try to split it, I don't have a good square edge. The other thing too, when we split this, we're only gonna split it coming from this end to this point here, and then we'll have to turn around and split it from this end to this point here, okay? All right, we got a little more sand to do on it. But from here, what I'm gonna do is take, and if I got it cut down far enough, it should split right open. So, oh wow, it just, yeah, almost perfect. So there you go. All right, guys, appreciate you watching the video again. So this just took about a few hours here in the shop. It's really not much to it. It's a lot simpler than it really looks. It's kind of a cool deal. I've seen this years ago. We actually have some in the house that I didn't build, but I thought it was really cool design, the way it hinges together, stays together. So I thought, you know, I built some in the past and I didn't do a video on it. So I thought, well, I need to get a video out. So I thought, well, I'd make one of these real quick. Just in case you want to make one. So again, appreciate you watching. Y'all have a good day.